Hello everyone, I am Dr. Soni Chanda and today we are here to discuss about developing effective communication. So now if I am a marketer and I know the importance, so I should be able to have the effective communication which will be making my product and brand visibility higher, acceptance higher as well as sales higher. So what are the different steps? The very first is identifying the target audience. This definitely affects the decision related to what should be your message, how that message is to be conveyed, when it should be conveyed, and where the message will be conveyed. Like for example, in the eternal Lalita ji of surf was talking about surf की खरीदारी में ही समझदारी है, because the message was for the females or the housewives of Indian households, which were middle class people. Second step would be determining the communication objectives. Now, what I wish to convey, what my objective is. For that, we need to refer to the buyer readiness stages. Now, there are 6 buyer readiness stages. The very first is awareness. How much my customer is aware about my product and the brand. Second is, if he is aware, how much they know about it. They have just heard or they know something about my brand or product. And third is the liking. After knowing whether they really like my product or they just are okay with it. Next comes performance. Whether their liking is linked to the brand or the product performance, or it is just that they like a particular celebrity who's talking about my brand or the product. And how much the liking is, whether they are convinced about the benefits, about the performance or not. And if they are convinced, then why they are not buying it? That is the last stage, that is purchase. So I need to understand which buyer readiness stage my customer is at, and accordingly I can have my communication objective for that given stage. Now the third step, that is designing the message. Once I know my objective, I know who my target customer is, then I have to design my message. Now what kind of message I am looking at? The message should be able to convey what I wish to convey. Like when coronavirus started and Amul came up with the message, Wuhan se yahan le aaye. And then the ad was depicting the people who are coming back from other countries. So the message was resonating with the customers, with the target audience. Now the next step is talking about message sidedness. Now when we design a message, we need to see whether we are looking at the positive aspect of the message or the negative aspect of the product and brand. Like in the case of Buckley's syrup, cough syrup, where the message is talking about people swear by it and at it because the taste of Buckley's is really bad, but it works. So the company is bold enough to talk about the taste and also the outcome. So that is the perfect balance of positive and negative aspect of the product and the brand. Also important in message design is message appeal. Now what are appeals? Appeal is how the message is conveyed, talking about which emotional aspect or which rational aspect of the message or the product and how customer connects with it. We have generally seen that always a brand is being compared by the new brand, like in case of Pepsi and Cola. So these kind of communications are comparative communications. Sometimes the brand is so confident about its brand attributes that they talk about its benefits and the logic why you should use it. Like in the case of Bonvita, like in the case of LIC, where they try to say that you must use this, else you will be losing out on these things. Rational appeal, it works most of the time. And the next we have is emotional appeals, which is a mix of your love, pride, joy, humor, fear, guilt, anything and everything. Johnson & Johnson uses emotional appeal where they are trying to encash the mother-child love. Similarly, Cadbury is always using romance. So these are the message appeals which actually have to resonate with the customer psyche. Now, interestingly, companies are very picky about humor, right? They are not using humor as an appeal. But if you can relate back with one communication of Naukri.com, the Hari Sadhu ad, which talked about how the employees are actually being exploited by these bosses and they are frustrated. And the ad actually conveyed the feelings of the people in general, and that ad was one of its kind, which was kind of blockbuster. So humor can particularly be effective appeal if used in the right way. Now we have seen step 1 was who are my target audiences, step 2 was what are my communication objectives, step 3 talked about what my message design should be. Now we talk of step 4, that what media channel I should be using. Now there are plenty of communication channels available. These are personal communication channels as well as non-personal communication channels. When we say personal, obviously we are talking about face-to-face communication wherein one customer talks to other, or word of mouth. It can be phone calls by the company to the customers, it can be individual mails, customized mails, it can be internet communication, all sorts of attention the customer can get from the company individually or customized. Then we are also having buzz marketing, wherein a momentum is created, product or the brand is talked about, and the whole market is talking about it. So these are kind of personal communication channels which are now being used by the marketers in a larger perspective, in a very big way, because they are most effective. And then we have some traditional non-personal channels, like we are having media, we are having our TV, we are having radio, we are having billboards, we are having events, so forth and so on. But talking about the effectiveness, we cannot say only personal are effective or non-personal are effective. A proper mix of personal and non-personal is what we are looking at. And accordingly, when we are having the integrated approach, the effect of the message and the outcome is what companies are looking at. So friends, that's all from my side today, and I hope you have enjoyed this. See you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.